Warning. This is not your safe space. Move along, now. YouTube has once again displayed its prominently leftist colors when reprimanding Colin Flaherty for community standards violations. Closing all 3 of Colin's channels were their punishment for what they called hate speech, which was far from being truthful. And all it took was the complaint of one social injustice warrior, and YouTube acted solely on their word and dished out an unfair and unwarranted sentence without the possibility of early parole, often displayed in Colin Flaherty's videos on the ever-increasing black violence, and media's attempt to cover it up. The repeal process is very flawed, resulting in an almost instantaneous rejection, with truth suppressed and constitutional rights diminished in the wake. Here is what Colin has to say about what happened in his new video uploaded to minds.com.
Oh, by the way, if you think I'm making this up, check out Atlantic Magazine. Story on gentrification. That's word for word what they have all these big shot experts saying, what I just said. Yeah, I did a video on that. I got kicked off YouTube for posting that video and calling BS on it. They said it was hate speech, hate speech, hate speech, hate speech.
YouTube's ever-changing definition of hate speech includes everything one might complain about. That definition is never clearly explained, yet it is so broad that nothing escapes its crooked finger of persecution and blame. A short definition taken from Bing reads: bigoted speech attacking or disparaging a social or ethnic group or a member of such a group. As you clearly see, this incorporates any speech directed at an individual or group, regardless of intended harm or lack thereof. According to U.S. Supreme Court ruling, hate speech is protected speech.
But no matter how the point is phrased, its unmistakable thrust is this: the government has an interest in preventing speech expressing ideas that offend. And, as we have explained, that idea strikes at the heart of the First Amendment. Speech that demeans on the basis of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, age, disability, or any other similar ground is hateful, but the proudest boast of our free speech jurisprudence is that we protect the freedom to express the thought that we hate.
States vs. Schwimmer, 279 U.S. 644, 655, 1989. Are you listening, YouTube? Doubtful. This attack on free speech and even less melanated skin is birthed by the all-inclusive and tolerant left, that persecutes and silences the unlike. YouTube, not unlike its owner, Google, are extreme liberal organizations that aim to promote their narrative and mute those that oppose their platforms, as reflected in recent headlines when an employee dared to speak truth about the differences between males and female, the only 2 genders. Truth, even when combined with factual evidence, has now been branded hate speech by all whose thin skin bears the brunt of truth's mighty sting. Colin Flaherty can be found on his website www.colinflaherty.com, and he is now on minds.com/Colin Flaherty. When last I checked, Colin's Minds account is exploding with followers. There you will find his videos void of apology and full of truth that informs us on a subject covered up by all forms of media and social media alike. Give Colin a follow. With the unjust punishment of being banished into the YouTube void, Colin needs our support and help more than ever. For years Colin had made videos that have informed us as well as entertained us, and we all saw them free of charge. A subject well documented and mastered by Flaherty has opened many doors for countless other YouTube channels, such as my own, at his suggestion and in support of his cause. Colin fathered truth channels whose main goal is to reveal what media and the left take great pains to conceal, and that black violence is steadily increasing with no hope of reform. This is our chance to let YouTube know how we feel on this injustice, measured out to one of our own by voting with our wallets. Consider making a donation to Colin via PayPal. His address will be in the description section below. Also, think about ending any payable services to YouTube in protest of Colin's unfair treatment, such as movie rentals, YouTube Red, and the like. Also, follow Colin on minds.com and become a subscriber of his website. And Colin, if you do watch this, I owe you much, for it was you that inspired my channels. You were, and are my muse. Your absence on YouTube is painful as well as unjust, and we all want you back.
And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more and interesting information like this.
Fight their asses.